Okay, what would that be? Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Blue Lock Season 2, Episode 11. What you taught us. Last episode, Chigiri and Nico, they got substituted by Hiyori and Reo. And then Reo at the end there was just so super awesome. He copied Aiku and then stopped, was it Shido? Right. He stopped Shido with his chameleon defense. So cool. So that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/feelmini. And now let's start this episode. Hey, here we go.
Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comments in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review.
Huh? That's always the goal. Yeah. You need to get into the flow. Right. That was the goal. And he's like, Aiku is the one that's gonna help him do that. So for some reason, just seeing them, the feet and trying whatever, I got reminded for some reason of Run with the Wind. I don't know why. What was it about it that made me reminded me of it? I'm gonna have to go back and look at the intro. Maybe there's something in the intro that reminded me of it. But if you don't score, penalty area perfection. Who's gonna stop you? Reo! When the way they animate them running and everything, when they're not sort of like not focused on later. Or hurting them. Okay. And you have to be violent about it? Of course we still can do it. Of course. Are you? Someone gonna get it? What's going on? Is he having some kind of out of body experience? Is he about to awake? Oh my gosh. Is he about to get in the flow? The flow. Okay. I'll knock you up. Oh my gosh, this show and their whatever, man. What is a hat trick? What does that mean? What does that mean, a hat trick? That was not a hat trick?
誰も扱いきれなかった指導に、愛しさえは挑戦となるパスを与え続けた。がやらなきゃいけないことをやりやがった。天才、愛しさえの導きで覚醒したわけだ。日本サッカー界を変えるのは俺たちじゃなく、あの二人なのか。
Rain.
ないよ。これ以上はノープラン。
何言ってるんですか。
It's gonna be up to them.
俺たちはあんたの言う通りに全力で戦ってる。それでも届かないんだ。教えてくれ。どうすれば勝てる？
もうすでに勝ってる。
Huh?
前半の圧勝、指導流星の躍動。ここまでは台本通りだ。
Oh, they're all part of the Blue Lock.
お前らは消えない。愛しさえに見初められた指導流星は日本サッカーのスターダムに立ち、エゴを引き継ぐお前らが日本サッカーを変えていくんだ。胸を張れ。俺たちはもう勝ってる。
But that's not what he wants to hear. He wants to win the match itself.
保証とかそんなのどうだっていい。俺たちは今ここで勝ちたいんだ。
Mm-hmm.
潔く
肩すらクソメガネ。このエゴはあんたが教えたことだろ。
Oh my goodness, this show, man. Gisagi Yoichi.
機内未曾有のプランで行く。
Okay, what would that be?
ジョーカー。バロー勝利。
Who are they replacing though? Oh, the ninja is coming out. He doesn't care. Bruh, have you not learned anything?
一つだけ想定外だったのが、
Is what?
あいつらの中に育ったエゴが、熱が、俺
Oh,
の
okay.
を上回ってみてろ。今のあいつらなら、一番熱い場所を作り出せるかも。
And that's why you show up, right? When the soccer is supposed to intense, that's when they show up. Whatever.
一点決めてから戦死してんのか、草は。俺にパス出しとけ。
No. Oh, they're back to it again.
前線の俺たちは前のめりの総攻撃でいい。差し違えても勝つぞ。オーケー、リンちゃん。
限ってん。
I love the fire.
勝つからね。ああ、行くぞ。これがけついてその先の俺のゴールを狙う。
いいかバロー少尉、お前の投入時に雪宮剣佑がいる場合見立てろと伝えてあるが、無視しろ。
Hmm?
初めからそのつもりだ。
それでいい。
パス回しは変わらずあの二人。こいつは使わないのか。愛し凛からマイナス展開。
Barrow's coming, right? He's gonna steal it. Barrow's gonna Yup. Trying to get you fired up into the zone. Uh-huh. That's usually that's the only way that Izagi awakens.
初見殺しのヒールムーブ。
チョップドリブル。テクは本物かよ。
Duh.
こそジョーカーなんだ。作れ、バロー少尉。ここからは俺にも読めない。最後の30分だ。
早い。ゴール前。仲間からボールを奪うとは奇妙奇天烈な切り札じゃな。
That's how they do.
コースはないぞ。
No, he won't.
11番の動き出しがいい。これが狙いか。
No, he won't.
バロまずい。ここでパスを出されたら決定機。
It's not passing.
でもお前には出さねえよ潔。俺はお前ごと試合を食らう。
That's why he's the villain, right?
あのバカ。
アホキング。それ強引すぎだって。
You came here.
敵陣は崩れた。バロー君の存在が完全に。
I love his glasses. He looks so cool.
いざフローへ。
Can you get into it like that?
ベストパフォーマンスの一歩先へ。カオスがあるからできるステップ。フルスピードでラッ
La croqueta.
さっきまでよりタッチが細かい。
La croqueta. Okay.
サッカーのドリブルスタイルか。どけよ。俺には時間がないんだ。ハヤテの体をうまく使われた。
What did he say that he's running out of time?
早い。コースが消される。
Freaking frack, he's gone.
まだ。俺をフローへ導く。ゴールインタイム。この感覚が。
I feel like something was gonna happen.
いや、一か八かで飛び込んだんだ。考えて、読んで反応してたこれまでのあいつとは。おお、なんだこれ。すっげえ感覚。
No, tell me he's about to go into the flow too.
いや、全身が感じてやがる。まさか。
He got into the flow.
あいつもフローへ。こんな瞬間を俺は待ってたんだ。
Oh, okay. Everyone is getting into the well, not everyone, but the under 20s are getting to the flow, and our people still haven't. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
アディショナルタイム。
I'm about to say that was not Toshi's voice.
あいつも女優との結婚狙ってやがるな。
Oh my god.
肌に液体塗っておしゃれ王子様キャラ気取りやがる。やめとけ、プライバシー。時だ。
こけ。
あまりベタベタ触るでない。絶対高いやつ。
Mm-hmm. It looks expensive.
絶対高いやつ。いちいちムカつく。
あ、こっちにセカンドバッグもあるよ。
What's in that
ハ
one?
ンドバッグを使う。なぜに怖い。
Why?
もしかしてあいつ。
Oh my god.
成功。大成功。
Are you sure that was his bag?
俺の元カノのだ。
Okay. I'm about to say.
彼女だ。
お泊まりセットって何？
年上、俺様け。
お泊まりセットって何？
He keeps asking what's an overnight bag. Oh my goodness. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, no. After it was done, I'm like, how do I start talking about this episode? And then I looked at my notes, and then it's like I wrote nickname and animation. So I guess I better talk about those two things. The nickname thing. Last, when I was editing my last reactions, and then I kept, throughout the show, they've been throwing out these nicknames to like each player, but I felt like either it was last episode or the one previously, the one that came before that, I don't know. But I felt like during that episode, there were so many nicknames being thrown out that I'm like, I was telling myself that I sort of like want to do sort of like a compilation of all the nicknames that they've been calling each other throughout the whole thing, and maybe put it at the end of one of my reactions or something. I don't know, but like, it's just so funny. They have all these different things that they keep calling each other, and I'm like, each time they throw something out, I'm like, that's so funny. And then when it came to the animation, I was about to say that when there's a different kind of style, I feel like there's sort of like two different styles of animation when it comes to this show. like, okay, when they're having sort of like these interpersonal um conversations, whatnot that's happening, plays that are hot that are happening, they have a different style for that. But then when it comes to looking at the whole terrain and see people running, you know, like as a whole, like sort of like from the outside looking in, they look like video game characters running, so I keep noticing that, but I've never mentioned it, so I just thought that I should mention in this episode. Okay, Shido got into the flow. Started talking about genes and leaving something behind and all those things, and that Sai basically is giving him the opportunity to express his freedom when it comes to his soccer and stuff like that. And he had the opportunity to score, but then Rio, with his chameleon defense, stopped him. And then Kagamaru also, like, at one came to a point where he sort of like came out of the goal and like headbutted the ball away. But then the ball was going places, and then Shido's just looking and it's just like he's feeling sort of like strange or something. That the ball is whatever. But he's feeling all these things, and I'm like, wait, is he about to awaken? And then I'm like, oh, is he about to get to the flow? And yeah, he got into the flow, and that pass, like that, the way he scored, it was like, yeah! Like the whole stage erupted. Like it was amazing and everything. There's like he's into the flow and all these things, and he just ran and jumped on the side, just like let's play forever, and all these things. And then Seth was like, telling him that he wanted him to do like a hat trick or something or other like that. I keep wondering what a hat trick means. Clearly, the goal that he scored was not a hat trick, so I'm like, wait, how does that happen? Who knows? And then you have Isagi there. That's also like, he saw how he scored the goal and everything, and he figured that Shido got into the flow. And then you also have IQ that's also stopping him. And I'm like, when they started this match against the under 20s and IQ stopped him the first time around, before they even started the match, Ego was telling them that they needed to get into the flow. And that in order for them to get into the flow, they need to have this sort of like goal, this sort of like what feels like an insurmountable goal, but that's also achievable or something or other like that. And he figured that being able to win against Aiku is what's gonna help him get into the flow, right? So you have Aiku in this episode stopping him again. You have Shido also getting into the flow, and I'm like, that's the only way that he's gonna get, he's gonna be able to do it. His thing, getting into the flow and everything. He came out, he goes to Ego, he's like, okay, how are we supposed to win? And then Ego's like, we've already won because they've basically displayed their strength, their capabilities to the whole world. So teams from all over, even the under 20s, are going to be recruiting them and everything. And Isagi is like, I don't care about all that. I want to win this match. I want to be the best soccer player or not, striker, the striker, and all these things. And then Ego is like, okay, I have a plan, but I just don't know how that's gonna turn out. And then that's when Barou comes in. I'm like, they can't be playing this thing without Barou being in there, like he has to come in there. So when he came in there, and then first of all, he told Isagi that his play was boring. And then him and Nagi started, their banter again. Oh, so cute. So as they were playing, this sort of like, with this went to, they showed us a flashback of Ego talking to Barou about what he should be doing. So apparently they sort of like had a plan about how to play when Barou comes in. Barou should be doing this and that. And as he was telling as they were showing us that and they were telling us that, I'm like, Baro's not someone that follows the rules. Okay, he does whatever he feels like doing. So when they were telling him to do this, and I'm like, I don't think he's gonna be doing it. And then Ego is like, but don't do that. And I'm like, yeah, he's not gonna do that. And then even Barou himself is like, yeah, I wasn't gonna do that. So I'm like, he does whatever he wants to do. And the only thing that Ego told him to do is to devour basically Isagi. And during the match, that's what he was doing. Isagi's like, pass the ball. I'm like, he's not passing the ball. I feel like Isagi should know by now. He should know by now how Barou plays. He's not a team player, So why do you keep assuming that he was going to do what you want him to do? So he kept using, like the pass was coming, the ball at one point was coming to Isagi because he was free. And I knew Barou was going to show up there and take the ball away from him. And he did. And then they got sort of like into the penalty box. And Isagi's like, okay, pass the ball to me and then I'm going to score. And he didn't. Barou took the shot and he missed. And he just brought this chaos onto the field that they are going to have to deal with. And then you have Yukimiya that tried to take advantage of that chaos and to get into the flow. And when he was moving around everybody and all these things, and at first he saw this perfect shot and it sort of slowly but surely disappeared. So he started looking for other places where he could shoot. And then he sort of like found the perfect place. And then he's like, with this goal, I'm going to get into the flow or something or other like that. And I knew inside of me that someone was going to stop it. Like I knew it. And it was Aiku. And then Aiku was like, he's never felt like this before. And then all these things. And I'm like, wait, is he also in the flow? And yeah, he got into the flow. So you now have two people that have gotten into the flow. I wonder if Sai has ever gotten into the flow, or is he like always in the flow? Because it feels like with the way he's able to control the ball and do these amazing passes and everything, it feels like he has this sort of like amazing control already of the ball and the field and all these things that I feel like he doesn't, either he's sort of like always in the flow or he doesn't even need to be in the flow. But whatever. So there you go. You have Isagi being devoured by Barou. You have Aiku there also blocking him and everything, and I'm like, that's what's gonna lead him to get into the flow. Isagi needs, if he doesn't have something that's blocking him, he doesn't really grow. Like, in my opinion, he needs to have some kind of obstacle in front of him before he can grow and go to the next stage, So to have Barou there doing his thing and then to have Aiku there, that's going to force him to find a way and get into the flow. What else happened? I love that moment where when Barou got into the game and then you have Ren basically telling everybody, we're just gonna go on to the attack, like play like, I don't quite remember the way he said it, but just the show showing every player on the field and this light in their eyes, and then the music that's playing in the background that's just giving you this energy about things are about to go. It's like it's always so cool. And I just remembered that after Shiro and Sai, they do whatever they did led to Shido scoring, and then you see Isagi there just like looking at them, and then you see this fire in Rin, like he's seeing his brother and Shido together, and you see him being angry, and I'm just reminded of the fact that Sai wanted them to play together, him to be the best. What was this? Did want to be the best at it? center? That's it. I forgot. And then he wanted Rin to be the striker. Like, had Rin not flipped out, like that, it would have been them two. So it's like just seeing Rin looking at both of them together, and I'm like, yeah, that could have been you two together. So yeah. I love this episode. I can't wait to see the next one. Thank you guys for watching. And if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting Patreon at patreon.com/feelingme. If you want to see my reaction to the very next episode, the link is gonna be in the pinned comment, so you can just click on it and you can watch it right now. I'll see you next time. Bye. Just play me, baby. It's nothing else, no harm, maybe. Yeah. Quit playing games.